Hello everyone, Jim from Ohio here, and if you've been following my videos for a while, you'll know that my wife and I recently moved into a new house out in the country. Well, country life has been great for us so far. It's been so nice to get out of the hustle and bustle and all the traffic and crowds of the city. One thing that the country has given us is poor cell phone coverage. In our house, we only get about one bar on the Verizon network. On the outside of our house, we're lucky to get two bars depending on where we stand in our yard. So I decided it was time to upgrade and get a cell phone booster. I looked all over the internet and all over Amazon, and it seemed like those things are just ridiculously priced. I saw them all the way up to $600 and $700, and I watched a ton of YouTube videos of reviews that other people have posted, and it seems like everybody's buying really super expensive ones, and I don't know if they're doing it just to get the revenue, the affiliate revenue of making a recommendation, so they recommend the highest price device, but I just can't see spending that kind of money. So what I did, I went on Amazon and I looked around and I found this one. It's called A Plus Cell Booster, and this was on sale. I think it was like 30% off when I caught it, and it was $87. So under $100 is what I paid for this one. Now, because it was on sale, the price is probably going to be different by the time you go look for it. But I just wanted to share my experience installing this, and we'll see if it works. And if it works, then why would I ever buy one of the high-priced ones? Well, here's what came in the box. It did come with an instruction manual, and I'll be honest, the English language is not the first language of whoever put this together. There are some misspelled words and some words missing and just improper grammar. So it's obviously made in China. But anyway, it looks like there's enough details here for me to install it. But looking at everything else that came with it, it came with a attachable antenna that goes onto this device, and this is the interior antenna that will sit inside of my house. It came with a power adapter for that. It came with a bracket to mount the external antenna, which is right here. And it came with, I think this is probably a 50-foot piece of antenna or coax wire. So the most difficult part of this is going to be the installation and running the wire, because according to the instructions, the inside unit does have to be at least 30 feet from the outside unit so that there isn't any interference or oscillation that takes place. So that's going to be the challenge for me. I do have an idea of where I can put this up on my roof next to my chimney, and maybe have this item somewhere around either my garage or my dining room to make sure that I can have that distance. But let's go along, come along with me. We'll see how well it works. And if it works, I'll give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, it'll be going back to Amazon. But one thing I want to share is the reason that I went with this one and was confident in picking it up, even though it was under $100, is, as you can see on the box right here. Well, I'm in the garage, and the sun's at a weird angle right now coming in the windows. But it does have a 3-year warranty. And so if they're able to put a 3-year warranty on it, then hopefully they're going to stand behind it enough to make sure that it's a quality product from the start. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and start installing this, and we'll see what happens. So this is an old mount for a satellite dish, and I decided to recycle it. It was originally down on a lower portion of my house, and to get the antenna up higher, what I did, I came out and just mounted this onto the side of the chimney with some Tapcon style bolts, and I hope to mount the antenna to this, and I need to point the antenna over in this direction here. So I think that this will be a real good point. It's up high, doesn't have anything blocking, at least from my roof structure, and it'll allow me to extend the antenna, the interior antenna, far enough into the house so they're on opposite ends of the house so they don't interfere with each other. So here we are up on the roof, and you can see I have the antenna mounted. Just so you know, this antenna does come with the mounting bracket and this U-bolt right here, but it doesn't come with this stand right here or this bracket. This is something that was already on the house when I moved in. It's just the bracket that holds a satellite dish in place that I repurposed. And what I did, I just mounted it to the side of the chimney here, and then I had to point the antenna in the direction of where my nearest tower is. Now, to do this, this particular device does not mention or come with an app for aid in locating the antenna. They tell you to go online to get the information for that. But there is another cellular phone antenna that is out there that's called WeBoost, and they do have a free app that you can get from either the Apple Store or the Play Store. And what it does, you just open the app and go to locate, and what it'll do is it will find the nearest antenna, and it just has an arrow, a directional arrow that shows up on your phone, and you just point this in the direction that arrow is. Now, the only other thing is there is, you can see by the bracket, it allows for changing the angle for elevation, and so I don't know of a way to do that other than if you just watch the signal on your phone after it's connected to see where the strongest signal comes in. So what I did, once I had the antenna lined with the direction of the cellular tower, I just guesstimated, and so that's what I did. So the cable off of this antenna, I've got it running down through this bracket, and I have it running around the side of the chimney, and I'll show you what I did to get it to the end point where I needed to be within my house. So up here on the side of my chimney, you can see where I ran the cable down, and I just drilled a hole into the soffit there. And if you watched my earlier video where I did some maintenance on my attic, you'll know that I installed some baffles for good airflow in the attic, as well as a radiant barrier. And the radiant barrier made this part the most difficult part because I had to crawl through the attic and locate this exact position. And so what I did, once I located that, I popped the end of just one of the pieces of the soffit vinyl material. I pulled that down when I drilled the hole in it, and then I could see that baffle going into the attic. And what I did was I got a piece of 1-inch conduit, the plastic PVC conduit, and I ran that down above in the open area or open cavity that was created by both the baffle and the radiant barrier, and that gave me a way to run that cable all the way down to this exact point where I just pulled it then out of the attic and ran it up to the antenna that you can see there. But in doing that, had to get up in the attic. I had to get dirty and sweaty, and I'm finding I just don't like working in attics anymore. But that was definitely the most difficult part. Well, here we are up in my second attic, and this is the part that's over my family room, kitchen, dining room, and then this side over here is above my garage. And what I did was, you can see where I'm shining the light over there. that's where I had the piece of conduit going above the radiant barrier over in the first attic. And then I was able to push that through to this small opening that I've got leading over to the second attic. And you can see right along the ceiling there, I do have the white cable that I just ran all the way across. And I did want to drop it down lower so that I could put an outlet inside of my family room. And so I did have to put an extension cable. So that's what this mess is right here. This is just where the white cable that came with the kit is being connected by a coax male-to-male adapter. And I just have the extra cable coiled up there. And so you can see that black cable runs down. And what I did, I've got a piece of 3/4 inch conduit here that will go downstairs into my garage, and I'll see you what, or I'll let you see what is going on there. Basically, this was my way of getting it down to where I needed it rather than trying to fish it through the wall. I didn't want to fish it through the wall between my garage and my living room because that is an insulated wall, and I would have had a heck of a time trying to fish it down through there without the insulation either getting in the way or messing it up. So we'll go downstairs and I'll show you what's on the other end of this conduit right here. Okay, here we are down in the garage, and you can see where the other side of the PVC pipe is exiting the attic. What I did was, I do have a metal ceiling in my garage. I just drilled a 3/4 inch hole to pass the 3/4 inch conduit down through. And what I did, I had it come down to this box on the wall right here. And I just drilled 2 holes in here, and I'll show you the other side where I'm gonna put the plate on the wall in the house. I did I probably could have got away with 1/2 inch conduit, but because later on I'd like to add an attic TV antenna, I'm probably going to run another coax cable down this conduit at some point in time. So I went ahead and got the larger conduit to prepare for the future, and I did go ahead and drill 2 holes leading through to my family room right there. So what we'll do, I'm done with this for now, and so I'll just put a cover plate on that and cover it up. That way I don't have to worry about any rodents or bugs or anything like that going into the holes that I've got drilled out there. So let's go inside and see what the other side looks like. Okay, here we are behind my entertainment center, and I do have kind of a wire mess going on over there. But here's the wall plate that I put on, and this top jack is going to be my cell phone antenna, and this bottom jack is the one that I mentioned I was going to use for some type of an attic antenna for my television. So everything looks nice and clean here, and all of the hookup internal to the wall and the attic and all of that, the antenna is hooked up for all intents and purposes. So I just have to now connect the indoor module to this, and we'll see what kind of signal we now have on our cell phone. Okay, and now for the real test. I have my cell phone, and you can see here in the upper right hand corner, I now have 4 bars and full LTE signal. Where before the most signal that I could get was only 1 bar, and that LTE notification was not coming up at all. So things are working pretty good so far. At this point, I'm glad that I didn't spend the $400, $500, $600 that some of the other units went for. This one being only less than $100. But yeah, so far so good. I do have this unit sitting on top of my entertainment center, just kind of camouflage with some of the photos around it, and so hopefully that'll be a good enough spot for this to work or keep it so that I get a good signal throughout my house. So I am going to walk around the house a little bit right now and just kind of see what the signal does. And I see that right now it says 3 bars in LTE, so I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully it doesn't change any more than that. But let me take a walk around and come back and give you either a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this device. Well, here I am down in the far corner of my basement where I do have a walkout entry. And down here, I'm only getting 2 bars, and I'm not getting an LTE signal at all. So I'm going to guess that while the external antenna is doing what it's supposed to do, maybe this internal antenna is not strong enough to cover my entire house. So let me go upstairs and see how things are in the bedrooms. Well, here I am in one of our bedrooms, and well, things aren't looking so good at this point. I've only got 2 bars here, and it's not LTE in this bedroom either. So the signal here is about what it was in the basement. That's kind of a bummer. Well, and here I am in another bedroom, and it looks like we got the same thing here. We've got 2 bars and no LTE. So, you know what? I'm going to have to give this unit a thumbs down. Oop, we just dropped. I haven't even moved, and we just dropped to 1 bar. Now it's back up to 2. So, hey, I'm not real happy with this. Well, based on our testing, this unit right here, which is the A+ Studio 3L Pro Cell Signal Booster, I think that this is unfortunately going to have to go back to Amazon. Now, I did spend a lot of time running the cable and mounting the antenna on the roof. Fortunately, all of these antennas use the same type of cabling, which is just a standard coax cable or antenna cable or cable TV cable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send the main antenna and the mounting bracket that came with it back to Amazon, as well as the indoor antenna. I'll send back to Amazon. But you know, if they're selling an inferior product, I don't think that they'll be getting their cable back. If I get any complaints after it goes back, I think I might have to just let them know that, hey, I spent a lot of time getting it hooked up and it simply doesn't work. So unfortunately, this one's going back. So I hope you've learned something here. I hope you don't waste your money on this particular model. But what I'll do, I'll order another model, probably have to spend a little bit more money. I'm not going to go to the highest dollar one. I'll probably go somewhere in the middle. And we'll see how another one works out. And I'll do another review once I've got that in hand, connected and ready to go. So, oh well, you live and you learn. This is Jim with Jim Jenny, Ohio. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye now.